Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome back to Soulmates with Elle. If you're tuning in for the very first time, probably seeing my beautiful face for the first time, welcome. Please sit in, settle in, subscribe, turn on your bell, like, share our videos. They are very, very insightful. So I've been doing videos about relationships and marriages for a while, and apparently I've been receiving requests. People have been sending me emails and telling me I should do something specifically. And now I normally open my email lindafrankv@gmail.com for questions, for concerns, for topics that you want us to discuss about marriages and relationships, even Christian marriages, because Linda is a Christian. Okay, yes. So I had this one email that stood out to me. Somebody sent and said, please do elements of dating for a kingdom marriage. Okay, so where is this one going to? Okay, that is motherhood for you. So if you see my children passing by, assume you did not see them. And for those of you that normally think I'm a single lady, I'm a young girl, I'm not young. It's the glory of God that is shining on me. Do you understand? I am your big auntie. I am your big auntie. So I said someone sent me an email and they made a request, and she made a request and it stood out to me. She said I should do a video on key elements of dating for a kingdom marriage, and that is why I'm doing this video today. Hopefully it's gonna be insightful to you as a kingdom dater. If you're dating as a kingdom dater, even though in kingdom marriages and dating we don't call it dating, we call it courtship. Kingdom courtship. You know, when you date, some people date without ambition. They date without what they want to do. They don't even know why they're dating. Give me this. Let Maya sit. Let me sit here. They date without ambition. They date without aims. But when you are doing kingdom dating, we call it courtship because you are dating with intentions of getting married, specifically intentions of getting married. We are not dating confused. We are not dating like we don't know our front from our back. We are not dating like we don't know where we are going to or where we are coming from, okay? Yeah, so at number one, you need to practice service. Now, I cannot emphasize this enough because marriage is service, 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 service. That is why anytime I see a single person that is so self-centered, a single person that can never lie, compromise to do something for somebody, I look at them and I'm like, sis, are you sure you're ready to be married when it's time? But by the way, one thing that you people must remember is that marriage is not for everybody. It's even in the Bible. It's not for everybody. There's a verse, I can't remember it right now. Cover this screen, mama. I can't remember it right now, but there's a verse that normally speaks about that if you can serve the Lord as a single person, the better for you. And by the way, life after death, I don't think there's marriages where people are going after death. Whether you are going to hell or whether you are going to heaven or whether you are going to the world beyond, there are no marriages there, okay? So it's not everybody that will get married. But if you know you have plans of getting married as a Christian, you have to learn service. You have to serve one another. That is what you people are gonna be doing in marriage for the rest of your life, for as long as you stay married. If you stay married for 60 years, you people are going to be serving each other for 60 years. Now I'll give you people an example. Growing up, I saw my mom sacrificing a lot. Sometimes we put food on the table and a guest comes in, and obviously we know there is no other food left in the kitchen, but my mom sacrifices her food to cover the shame of the family and give to the guest with a smile on her face. And maybe she doesn't even know how she will start preparing another food. Like village life, you know, village life. Maybe it's now she wants to go and either go to the farm again and get some other vegetables again. You know, those guests that walk into your house when you did not have much that day, you did not cook extra. Yes. And I used to wonder why she used to do that until I got married, and I realized that marriage is service, and these days I'm the one doing that, and it comes to me very automatically and very naturally. So if you're somebody that doesn't believe in this act of service, practicing service in marriage. You are a self-centered person. It's me that should eat first. It's me. If I did not eat, nobody will eat. Then you will have a big problem in marriage, because the times you need to sacrifice and you need to do it with a smiling face. Do you understand? Because God only blesses those who sacrifice with a smiling face. Number two, you have to develop your characters individually. Now, nobody is perfect, and God is not even interested in you being perfect in the first place. God is interested in you knowing that you have flaws, you are flawed, you have run short of the glory of God, so that you'll be seeking Him, so that you'll be finding ways to seek Him in your flaws. Do you understand? So you need to practice and develop your character individually. Work on what you have as your triggers, traumas, or your weaknesses. Everybody has weaknesses. There are people who have weakness for money. If they hear about money, their head is just, their ear will stand up like this. If they hear about money, they don't want to hear anything else. Money, 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 money. There are people who, if they hear of a car, kilo shele, kilo deni. If they hear about a car, they want to die. They must do what it may take to have that car. Any brand new car that has come, they must, There are some people who have triggers, things that make them to light up like fire. Mommy, sit down. Sit down. This video is not for kids. Sit over here. Don't come to my camera. If you come, I'll flog you. Sit here. There are people who have childhood traumas and triggers. There are people who one thing just make them flip. There are people who have just small anger. Somebody just stepped on your feet. The next thing is a slap. You are not that patient enough to say you're stepping on me. Maybe the person did it by mistake, so that the person will apologize. You need to work on your triggers, your traumas, and your weaknesses. If you have anger issues, if you have impatience, if you're somebody that cannot endure, you have to work on all those things. At number three, you need to be very prayerful. Number one is because whenever you find somebody serious that you want to settle with, that is when counterfeits start popping up from everywhere. And they come looking like sunrise. They come shining to confuse you. When you find somebody serious you want to marry, that is when your exes start calling you. That is when those guys that made you feel not enough, that made you feel you're not true, all that after all, that is when they remember you and they start calling you and start apologizing and all that. Devil does not like marriage, Christian marriages precisely. He doesn't like marriage normally, but he doesn't like Christian marriages precisely because you bring Christian seeds, and that is a problem. It's gonna be a problem in the kingdom of hell. So you need to be very prayerful. Also be prayerful so that you don't end up with somebody that is not God's choice for you, so that God will show you things you need to see. Do you know that there are some people who are planning to get married, and it happens even in Christian religions, in Christianity. You're planning to get married and you don't know that the person you want to marry is a homosexual or is a lesbian. And because you're prayerful, you come and find out before the marriage, maybe a week, maybe days to the marriage, even a day to the marriage, you catch them pants down with their fellow man or their fellow woman, and you escape it. So when you pray, when you become prayerful as a Christian during courtship or during your dating as a Christian, you will realize that God will show you things. Those things that you could not see ordinarily if you're not praying. Those things that ordinarily you were not meant to see, you will begin to be seeing them. So also pray together for guidance and blessings, because let me tell you the truth, I'm talking from experience. Getting married is one thing and staying married is another. Even just for 1 year is a whole lot. That's why you hear some people get married and 2 days down the marriage they are breaking up. 3 days down the marriage they are divorcing. 5 months down the marriage they don't want to do again. Marriage is a whole lot, and you need prayer for blessings. You need prayers for God's guidance to guide you. To submit in marriage as a woman is not a walk in the park, because it's not all men that will show you the love that God said men should show their wives. It's not all men that will even compliment you. Some men, once they marry you and they put you in the house, the courtship is over, the pursuing you is over. no matter how you try, no matter how you try to look good, no matter how you try to groom yourself, no matter how you try to be nice, no matter how you try to borrow recipes online and cook, they will never compliment you. They will never say, wow, babe, this is nice. They will never. This happens even in Christian marriages. I'm telling you guys. I'm telling you the reality. They will never even tell you that, wow, babe, you look good. I like this dress. I like the way you did your hair. I like this, your glasses. I like this, your earrings. Small compliments that women like, that men will naturally tell you when they are toasting you. Once you get married, they will not. So you need to pray. You need grace, guidance for God to help you to even submit in marriage, because there are many things that you see that you'll be feeling like, what is the point of submitting in the first place? Do you understand? Another point is you need to seek counsel. Now, you need to seek counsel from mature Christians, Christians that are like your mentors. You need to read books. You need to attend sessions. You need to interact with people that have been married, people that know what marriage is about, people that will tell you that it's not only sex that people used to do in marriage. People that will tell you that sometimes in marriage you need to create a schedule for sex. You need to create a schedule for your time alone with your spouse, because you're not going to have that time. People that can tell you that when you are in a marriage and there is a crisis, maybe financial crisis, what will you do? Maybe if you're in a marriage, you start having children and you feel like your wife's attention is shifting from you to the kids. What do you do? Because that is the time men get lonely and they start seeking for solace elsewhere. What will you do? You need counsel from mature people, mature Christians, married Christians that you look up to, mentors. Read books, watch videos that talk about these things, like this video I'm doing for you now, so that you learn before you enter. Number 5, emphasize on dating towards marriage and not casually. Make your goals clear that this our dating that we have started, we are dating it for marriage. We are not playing games here, so that somebody's son will not go and invest their emotions in vain. Somebody's daughter will not go and invest, all this baby will not go and invest their emotions in vain. At number 6, focus on compatibility and responsibility, and not physical attraction only. I'm not saying you should marry an ugly person, because who is ugly to me might not be ugly to you, okay? So we are not judging it like that. But I'm just saying, if you're that person that is always tripping for physical attraction, when you're ready to get married as a Christian, try and focus on compatibility and a sense of responsibility. Because, my darling, I'll tell you for free, if you marry an irresponsible man, you will suffer as a woman in that marriage. Now, number 1 thing, society has made it known that men get away with a lot of things. And there are some Christian men, surprisingly, that are also Christians, but they still hold on to what the society says. There are some tribes that have made men to know that they can still get away with some things, regardless of whether they are Christians or not. So the person must be very responsible. Also, for you to avoid being the one shouldering all the responsibilities in your marriage as a woman, you need a responsible man. You need a compatible man. There are men who believe kitchen is for women. I can never cook lai. I can never change diaper lai. So that kind of man, if you marry them and you're sick, God forbid, who will take care of your kids? You cannot even have food to take your medicine, because this uncook cannot enter kitchen and cook. You see? So you need to focus on sense of responsibility and compatibility. At number 7, focus on mutual respect and submission. Now, most people normally think that, oh, it's woman that should respect man. Let me tell you, respect is reciprocal. And it's very easy to respect somebody that is respecting you. Somebody that will not insult you in public. You will not downplay your emotions. Somebody that will not look down on you, belittle you, make you question your value, your worth, make you think that you're crazy, manipulate you, make you think that they are always right. You are the one that is always wrong. See, nobody is right under the sun. All of us have run short of the glory of God. So nobody can come and tell you that he is right. Nobody is right under the sun. Do you understand? Another thing is, you must marry somebody under Christian dating or kingdom courtships that you are sharing the same faith. That is, if he's a Christian, marry a Christian. Because if he's a Christian and you marry a Muslim, Most Muslim, if they marry you, if you're a lady and you're a Christian, you have to automatically change your faith from Christianity to Muslim, because he's the head of the house and you cannot tell him anything. Christians believe that you need to marry one wife. Officially, as a Christian, you're supposed to marry one wife. Forget all those traditional Christians. No, I'm not talking of half-baked Christian traditionalists. No, as a Christian, you're only supposed to marry one wife. A godly man is a man of one woman. That is the man that can even guide in church, lead in church, you understand? So, if you go and marry a Muslim and you're a Christian woman, Muslims are permitted to marry up to 4 wives. You don't just wake up tomorrow and go and marry. You wake up and see you have a rival in the compound, and you cannot say anything about it. What do you want to say? He is a Muslim and his faith permits him. If you marry a Buddhist, somebody that doesn't believe in God, they tell you that the world evolved by itself. God did not create anything. You want to come and tell him that anytime he has problems, he should go and pray to God. Which God? He will tell you which God. Which God are you talking about? But if you marry a Christian like you, somebody that is from your tribe, that believes in God, believes in Jesus, he knows that we can have a problem and we can wake up in the middle of the night and pray and kabash and speak in tongues, It will be easier for you. Your problem will be half solved. And our last point would be intentional communication. Now, marry someone that communicates openly about their desires, their fears, their anxieties, their expectations, their goals, and their struggles. There are some people, surprisingly, even in Christianity, that feel they need to stonewall each other in marriage. They feel they need to walk in eggshells. Like, you cannot say this because you don't know how he will react. Now, that is why you need to be very sure that the person you're marrying is not a Sunday church goer, but is actually a brotherly Christian. Because that way, God will be controlling him. God will be telling him to listen to his wife. Even if he did not listen to you, tomorrow you now pray, tomorrow you go to church, pastor will just be preaching exactly what he did. I don't know if that thing happens to you. If you're a Christian and you put your mind in the things of God, sometimes you have something that is really disturbing you, and then you go for a service, maybe on Sunday, and that day the pastor speaks as if it's you he's preaching to, and you see your answers. There's some prayers you pray about your marriage or your husband. You say, God, do this man like this, do this man like this. This man, I cannot reach him, or I have communication. I want to communicate my desires to him, but I don't know what to do because he's somebody that is very unapproachable. He will flame up very easily. If I talk to him, he might just get angry. We'll start fighting, and I want to keep peace in my home. God help me. And then you go to church tomorrow because he's a Christian. He will follow you to church. And then you reach there and the pastor just starts preaching about couples, stonewalling, couples not talking to each other, keeping malice, couples, you're making your wife to be afraid of you. You're supposed to be staying in one way, loving each other in the Lord. Allow your wife to be your best friend. Allow your husband to be your best friend so that they can open their mind and talk to you about anything and everything. And you're like you're just like, Jesus, thank you. You just like, thank God for Jesus. So these are some of the things you need to consider, or some of the elements you need to consider when you are dating for a kingdom marriage. I have many more points, but I can see the video is already 18 minutes 45 seconds in, and I did not want it to be longer than this. I was even thinking I'll be able to do this video within 10 minutes, but I couldn't. Yeah, so that is it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video helps you personally, you my viewer, you that needed to hear this, you that needed to watch this, you that needed answers to this, and especially to that one special person that requested me to do this video on this topic. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't, and let's meet in our next video. Bye.